There's one guy who could mimic a Jon Jones on the feet. It's Rico Verhoeven. You're big.
He's gonna wipe the floor. He's gonna wipe the floor with Jon Jones.
You believe
Jon Jones
100%.
doesn't have a chance versus Tom Aspinall. Mark my words. Tom Aspinall is a freaking monster.
He is the best kickboxer on planet Earth. Over 4,000 days as champion. I saw that stat the other day and my mind was blown. It is always my great pleasure to catch up with Rico Verhoeven. Rico, how are you?
Yes, I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm fantastic, man. Thank you for taking time for me as always. When you see that stat, 4,000 days as champion, do you get a little mind blown? Because I was like, man, 4,000 days. That's nuts.
That's a long ass time, man. Yeah. Also like, I'm blown away. Like, oh yeah. When you're in it, it just like flows and it is what it is. But 4,000 days. Wow. What an accomplishment.
I always say that, belts, titles, those things obviously matter, and you've been an incredible heavyweight champion, but I always say longevity might be the hardest thing to maintain in combat sports, because you see it all the time. Like, guys come in, make a big splash, maybe win a title, and then within 3 years, they're kind of, not would say out of the sport, but they're off the top. They're no longer near the top of the sport. Can I ask, like, what do you credit your longevity? I mean, not only to be champion for 4,000 days, but to be at this level for so long. Like, I know this is impossibly hard to do.
Yeah. No, for me, it's just like trying to be the best version of me every time and be my own biggest critic. And that's what everybody does. That's what the whole team does. That's how we look at the whole fighting game. And we just want to improve. We just want to get better. And yeah, there's always room to improve. So if you keep thinking that, if you keep minding that, if you keep focusing on that specific part, you keep growing, you keep getting better. And yeah, one day or the other, you're 4,000 days further.
Can I ask, like, I know a lot, and I don't want to speak for you saying this, but I know a lot of fighters say, like, I love fighting. I love being in the ring. I love being in the actual fight. But the hard part a lot of times is the training part, staying motivated for 6, 8, 12 weeks, getting ready for a camp, grinding every day, sparring sessions, workout sessions. Can I, like, how do you stay motivated through that? Because I guarantee, like, as busy as you are and all the opportunities you have outside the sport, like, there's got to be days where you're just like, you know what? I don't feel like going to the gym today. I'm just going to stay home and watch TV or what. Like, how do you stay so motivated? Because not only are you champion for 4,000 days, but you've got to do this on, this is your life. Like, this is literally what you do every day.
Exactly. So it's not motivation. It's discipline. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's discipline. Every time. Like, it's also not a day that you go to work without brushing your teeth or without having breakfast, or like you go a month without showering. No, it's like that's what you do. Make it a habit. So that's what we got to do on a daily basis. That's how I want to start my day off, with a nice workout.
I love it. I love it. I know, like, you're not necessarily an egotistical guy when it comes to this, but when I think about the history of kickboxing in the world, I grew up, and I know I've mentioned this to you in the past. Like, I grew up watching the old K1 tournaments. I'd wake up at, ungodly hours to watch the K1 tournaments in Japan and things like that. And, I was lucky enough to actually attend a K1 event in Vegas years ago, the event where Bob Sapp fought Chemo. I was actually at that fight. So I've seen, like, Ernesto Hoost and all the legends out there. I know you're not sitting there patting yourself on the back, but, like, when people say that, like, you are maybe the greatest kickboxer of all time, and they put you on that list, I'm not going to sit here and make you say you're on that. You're going to put yourself on that list. But what does it mean to you when people say that? When I say that to you, like, if I look at the greatest kickboxers in the history of kickboxing, I think it's hard not to put you in that very, very, very short list of, like, guys that deserve to be in that number one slot.
Yeah, no, all you can do is, like, be thankful, be grateful. But like I said, it's not up to me. I know that what I'm doing with passion, I'm doing with love, and I'm having fun while doing it. That's the most important thing. And the only thing you can hope for is that people appreciate what you do, and that's it. But it's not up to me to say like, oh, I think, in my opinion, I think I'm the greatest kickboxer ever, because everybody has different statistics or different ways to categorize their best or the greatest. So, like I said, it's not up to me, but as the moment when people say it, it's a huge compliment, and yeah, the only thing you can do is be thankful for it, because that's what we try to do. We try to entertain people.
I always take pride. Like I always say this in the MMA world. Like I was lucky enough, to be there the night Jon Jones became champion for the first time in the UFC, and I always remembered that. And being, I always say, man, I always feel honored that I got to cover that career. And having been a combat sports fan for so many years, like I feel honored that I'm talking to the guy I consider the greatest kickboxer in history. So it does mean a lot. And I know again, you're in the middle of your career, you're not thinking about that. So let me shift gears and ask you, because obviously this fight coming up, Glory. I mean, this event next weekend is insanely huge, massive event. But what was your reaction when they called and told you about Artem? Because obviously, 5-time defending light heavyweight champion, very accomplished kickboxer, signs with the UFC, decides not to go there and come back to kickboxing. Were you surprised? What was your reaction when they said, "What do you think about fighting Artem?"
Yeah, I was definitely surprised. I was like, is he kickboxing again? Okay. Yeah, let's do it. If you guys want me to fight Artem, I'm down. So I never shy away from a challenge, but yeah, this is definitely a challenge, a very, very, very serious challenge, because he's an amazing, accomplished kickboxer. He has been champion for quite some years, some great wins, and yeah. So I take my head off for that. He's a nice guy. I love his style. I love his fights. But next week he's going to be my opponent, so he's going to move out the way, and then afterwards we can be friends again.
On paper, people will say, you are a legit heavyweight, and you are a legit heavyweight. You are taller, you are bigger, you are stronger, more knockout power, all those kind of things. And he's coming up, right? Like he's coming up from light heavyweight. There's always a danger in that. But that's the risk in a fight like this, right? To think like, I am bigger, I am stronger, I do hit harder, I'm the better fighter. And because I won't say, listen, you're in a fight, there's always something to lose. But let's be honest, like a lot of people are looking at this and say, oh yeah, Artem's incredible. Like he's done incredible things, but he's moving up to heavyweight. He's fighting Rico Verhoeven. Like he's fighting a brick wall here. But there's a danger in that, right? If you start thinking
100%, but it's so easy to judge it from the outside. And this exact same story we had with Usyk versus Fury. Like Usyk is a mount of a Fury is a mountain of a man. He's bigger, he's heavier, he's stronger, and still Usyk managed to win twice. So he also came up from light heavyweight. So how do we look at that? So if you just like look at the stats, and for example, we had a heavyweight tournament, like they had a whole tournament of 32 fighters, and I think like a handful, maybe 5 or 6 light heavyweights joined the heavyweight tournament, and I think 90% of the light heavyweights won versus bigger guys. So I think that says enough.
100%. And this is like, you've accomplished so much. You've had so many huge wins on your record. I think this is a massive win when you think about Artem, the legacy he's put together. Obviously, I know a lot of people from the combat sports world are going to look like he's the last guy to beat Alex Pereira. Of course, Alex has a huge name now because of the UFC. So this is like, while he is a light heavyweight, like this is also accomplishment wise, like this is a big win to add to your resume, right?
Yeah, 100%.
He's a very, very, very accomplished guy in his own right. Like I said, five-time defending, longest reigning light heavyweight champion in glory history. And there's danger there. Any fight there, like I'm not like, you could go in there with me, I'm sure it would last like 8 seconds, but there's danger with everybody.
Always. We always got to be smart. Always got to keep our hands up and never underestimate anybody.
Yeah. So now, Rico, I know when we spoke last time, I was mentioning your career outside of the cage. And I mentioned I was scrolling through Showtime and I saw Black Lotus pop up. And I was like, hey, I know that guy.
Yeah.
And I noticed, because I know we talked before about like you become buddies with Jason Statham. And I think I noticed on one of your recent Instagram posts, Norman Reedus was commenting. I don't know how you know Norman. I was like, oh, Norman Reedus, that's awesome. I actually, years ago. So can I ask, like, obviously your focus right now, 100% only the fight next week, and that's all you're thinking about. But have you still been pursuing, acting and things like that outside the?
Of course, brother. Of course. We're always thinking about what is next and what is ahead. So I'm still doing auditions. I actually landed a nice audition. They postponed the project, but let's see to when they're gonna pick it up again. But yeah, I just keep taking acting lessons and enjoying myself with it because I love it. It's so much fun.
Do you think one day when your career is over, that will be maybe more, obviously right now you're in the middle of you're still in the middle of your heavyweight title reign, maybe going 5,000 days. I don't know. But like, do you feel like when it's all said and done, like that is something you would like to pursue more, more
100%.
once your career's over?
100%. I love it. So I really and truly can tell you that I found my new passion in acting.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And by the way, I'm not saying this, I'm talking to you. I was like, man, he's good. He's good. Like,
Thank you, brother.
Come on,
appreciate that.
Like you've seen some guys try to do it. And you're like, oh, maybe you should stick to fighting. You're good. You got an
Thank you, bro.
Like, when I watch Black Lotus, I was like, damn, he's good at this.
Yeah. So, and after that, we did Den of Thieves 2. We did Den of Thieves 2 Pantera with Gerard Butler and O'Shea Jackson Jr. So that was fun. And so like from there we just like building up. So it's just such an honor to be next to big name actors and just have fun with it and see the passion they have for the craft and just keep putting the work in.
I know you told me last time, like there is a goal at some point. You're going to do a film with your boy Jason Statham. Like you guys are going to do a starter vehicle. I love it. I know he comments on it all the time too. Like I think that would be such a cool combo.
Yeah, I know. We're still looking for the right project together, but like I said, we're keeping our eyes open. We're in contact about it. So he said, yeah, maybe we have something. Let's look at this. Let's look at that. You read that script. I'll read this script. Then. But we'll find something, no doubt. Like I said, everything happens for a reason.
100%. I know when you train, when you get ready, you work with a lot of different guys. I know we've mentioned this before. You've done a lot of work with a guy we all know in the MMA world is Tom Aspinall. And I know think you posted within the last couple of weeks, you were training with him. And I think we all know what's going on with Tom right now. Obviously, he's kind of waiting in limbo for his fight in the UFC, the Jon Jones thing. How much does it mean when guys like that, like right now, like Tom doesn't have to train right now. I know he does, but I'm saying he doesn't even know when he's fighting next. And to have a guy like that willing to come in and help and be there for you. And I know it's not just Tom. I know you have other teammates as well, but how much does that mean to you when guys like that are willing to just take their time and help you get ready? Because right now, like Tom's in a spot where if he was just sitting around frustrated saying, I don't want to do anything. I just want my own fight to get booked. But I love that he's always there to help you. And I know there's other guys in your team to do that as well.
Yeah, but it's a brotherhood, right? So the circle we have is really, really small. And we're like everybody that's in the team is like family. So the same like with Huey Fury and Peter Fury, it's family. So even they don't have a fight, they come over, they help us. Same with Tom. I don't have a fight, I come over and help him. The other way around, the same thing. We call, we pick up for each other. We have each other's back, no matter what. So, of course, I understand. Like for other people, it's like, oh wow, he's Tom Aspinall, and you. But for me, he's just like Tom. He's my brother. He's my friend, and I appreciate and I love him. And he's the best. He's the sweetest and the kindest guy. He's so humble, so warm-hearted, and the only thing you can be is thankful that you have these people in your life and that are always open to help you. So that's that.
And I know that assuming one day he gets that Jon Jones fight booked, you're going to be. I imagine you're going to be a huge part of helping him because when you talk about a guy who's long, strong, who could mimic a Jon Jones on the feet, that is. I was thinking about that today. I was like, man, there's one guy who could mimic a Jon Jones on the feet. It's Rico Verhoeven. You're big.
He's gonna wipe the floor. He's gonna wipe the floor with Jon Jones.
You believe
Jon Jones 100%. Doesn't have a chance versus Tom Aspinall. Mark my words. Tom Aspinall is a freaking monster.
I love it.
On his feet and on the ground. So, and I truly believe that Jon Jones has never faced somebody that is that good on his feet. On the ground, he's faced some guys that are pretty good. But on his feet, I think Tom is, he would even do good in the kickboxing ring. He would be a top competitor for to fight me as well. So I love it. I love it.
And I think that says a lot right there because, obviously he's so well known for MMA, but the fact that you work with him so often, you're not doing it just because it's Tom Aspinall. He's got to be beneficial, right? He's got to help you get ready. So that speaks a lot of praises because as you're getting ready for your own title fights, you wouldn't work with Tom if he wasn't an elite striker. That's what you're doing right now. And I'm sure that's a huge help having that. That speaks praises how good Tom must be on the feet that you're helping, that he's helping you get ready.
Yeah, 100%. He's explosive. He's in the right way. So without my words being twisted or he's awkward. So because he's not a kickboxer, he doesn't come with standard kickboxing combinations, and that makes it difficult. That's what I mean with he's awkward in a good way, and that makes it challenging. And he's explosive, and he's smart, and his fight IQ is high, and that's why I just love to always have him over and work with him.
I love hearing that. Rico, before I get you out of here, obviously your focus right now, 110% is Artem. It's days away now, so I certainly don't want to take away attention from that. But the reason I'm asking this question is because when the Artem fight got announced, I'll be honest, I didn't see it coming. When he decided not to go to the UFC, go back to Glory, and they announced this fight, I was like, whoa, this is really cool. This is a great fight. I've already got the pay-per-view purchased. I'm ready for next weekend. I'm excited for this fight next weekend. But when you look at just like this fight kind of came out of nowhere, when you look at the future, are you excited or what the options are out there? I know they're doing this tournament. Obviously, maybe by the end of the year, that gets you a new opponent. I know we mentioned in the past, maybe there's a Francis Ngannou fight out there. Are you excited for the possibilities? Because if I would ask you this question 5 months ago and said, who's next? You probably wouldn't have mentioned Artem. That would not have been at the top of your list. So is it fun to think about? There's still a lot of options. As much as you've done all the guys you've beaten, there are still options out there for you.
Of course. There's so many options, and my eyes are definitely on a crossover fight, like you just mentioned. For example, versus a Francis Ngannou, and but first on the list is Artem Vakhitov. So we're focused on that, and let's get that out the way, and let's see what the future holds for us. But like you said, the list is long. Glory has a big tournament where new stars can rise up. So let's see what comes up. But Artem is first.